The heavy metal door of the track office slammed shut with a finality that made my stomach drop, sealing us in the dim, sweat-scented room like a confessional no one asked for. Coach Ramirez, Elena to the few who knew her outside the whistle, leaned against it, her broad shoulders slumping under the weight of whatever ghost had chased her all season. "Alex," she said, her voice cracking like gravel under tires. "You're the only one I can trust with this, my boy Jamie. He's drowning, and I don't know how to pull him out." I froze, duffel bag slipping from my shoulder, the echo of our post-practice debrief still buzzing in my ears. Times shaved, splits improved, nationals on the horizon. But this wasn't about hurdles or sprints. Her eyes, usually lasers on the track, were fractured prisms now, spilling secrets she'd buried deeper than the starting blocks. Jamie, her son, the quiet kid from the bleachers who'd linger after meets, sketching in a battered notebook while the rest of us high-fived and hydrated. I'd caught his glances once or twice, fleeting as a false start, but chalked it up to hero worship for the team's golden boy. Now, with the fluorescent hum overhead and the faint drip of a leaky faucet marking time, Elena's confession uncoiled like a bad relay handoff. Jamie was gay, outed in the worst way by a leaked photo from a party last month, and the fallout had him spiraling. Skipping classes, ghosting friends, vanishing into the fog-shrouded hills of our San Francisco campus like he wanted to outrun his own shadow. She paced the narrow space between filing cabinets stuffed with entry forms and motivational posters curling at the edges. Pain is temporary, glory eternal, her Nikes squeaking on the linoleum. "He's 18, same as you, but he acts like the world's ending." My ex, his dad, called from back east, spewing Bible verses like bullets, saying it's a phase, a sin, that he'll fix it with prayer circles and tough love. But Jamie, God, Alex, he won't even look at me anymore. Thinks I see him different now. Her hands twisted the hem of her team polo, knuckles white as chalk lines. I nodded, throat tight, because I knew that look. The one that says you're exposed, raw, waiting for the judge's gavel. I'd buried my own truths under layers of straight-A averages and sub-4-minute miles, dating girls from the dorms just to keep the questions at bay. Coming out? In this pressure cooker of ivy-covered expectations and tech bro machismo, it was a foul jump, disqualification waiting to happen. Elena stopped, facing me square, her dark hair frizzing from the humidity we'd all sweated through earlier. "I saw how you are with the team, the way you lift the freshmen when they're gassed, no judgment, just steady. And those glances at Jamie during meets. You're like him, aren't you? Gay. Hiding it better, maybe, but I see it." The word hung there, punched out like a starter's gun, and my pulse jackhammered. No one had named it aloud, not in 4 years of dodging frat parties and hookups that felt like homework. I opened my mouth for denial, but it lodged sideways, half truth, half lie, and instead, I heard myself say, "What do you need from me, coach?" She exhaled, a dam breaking, and pulled a crumpled photo from her desk drawer. Jamie at that party, arms slung casual around a guy's waist, both laughing under string lights, innocent as a post-race beer. Now it was ammo in some digital witch hunt, shared across group chats from the bay to the bridges. "Talk to him," she pleaded, sliding the pic across like contraband. "You're the team's anchor. Show him it's not the end, that there's life after the gun goes off." I pocketed it, the glossy edge biting my palm, and promised I'd try. As I shouldered my bag and pushed out into the cooling dusk, the Golden Gate's silhouette smudged against the horizon. Doubt coiled in my gut like pre-race nerves. What did I know about saving someone from themselves when I was still sprinting from my own reflection? But Jamie's face in that photo, sharp jaw, hazel eyes crinkled in joy, stuck like burrs on my spikes. By the time I hit the dorms, the city's hum of cable cars and distant horns fading into my window, I texted the number Elena slipped me. "Hey, it's Alex from track. Your mom thought we should grab coffee. No pressure." The reply buzzed back in minutes. "Yeah, tomorrow. Need to get out of my head." Simple words, but they landed like the first stride in a marathon, tentative, building, with miles of unknown ahead. The next afternoon, fog clung to the Presidio like a bad hangover, muting the eucalyptus groves and turning the paths into ghost trails. I spotted Jamie first, hunched on a splintered bench by the bay overlook, hoodie zipped to his chin despite the mild bite in the air. He was slighter than in photos, wiry, like he'd run too many miles on empty, nursing a thermos that smelled of black coffee when he offered it over. "Mom's dramatic, huh?" he started. "No hello? Just that wry half-smile that didn't reach his eyes. Thinks I'm gonna jump off the bridge or something." As if. I sat, careful not to crowd. The Pacific's endless churn below us a reminder of how small we were. "She's worried. Loves you. That's not nothing," he snorted, kicking a pebble that skittered toward the edge. "Love. Yeah, right. Dad's love is conditional, straight or sorry. And Mom. She tries, but it's pity eyes now. Like I'm a stray she can't neuter." We talked laps around the heavy stuff at first, campus hacks, worst profs, the track team's secret stash of energy gels in the equipment shed. Jamie sketched while we bullshitted, his pencil flying over graph paper in bursts. Abstract swirls that resolved into cityscapes, bridges twisting into hearts. "Art major?" I asked, leaning in. "Trying. Dad wanted engineering. Real job. But screw that." His laugh was sharp, self-deprecating, but when our knees brushed accidental on the bench, neither pulled away. Electricity, subtle as static before a storm. By the time the fog burned off and gulls wheeled overhead, we'd swapped numbers proper, planned a hike up Twin Peaks for the weekend. "You're easy to talk to," he said as we parted, backpack slung loose. "Like you get it without the interrogation." I shrugged, heat creeping up my neck. Team captain's curse. But inside, something shifted. A baton passed mid-stride. Back in my single at the edge of campus, posters of Olympic runners peeling from the walls, I replayed it. The way his fingers flexed around the pencil, veins mapping like rivers on a trail map. I dated brief, fumbling things with girls who smelled like vanilla and confusion, but this felt different, gravitational. That night, scrolling his Insta, pre-leak, all Moody Bay shots and doodles. I hit send on a DM. "Dig the sketches. Ever draw runners?" His reply, a quick sketch of stick figure me mid-leap, caption future gold. I grinned into the dark, heart revving like I just PR'd the 400. Week blurred into rhythm. Track drills by dawn, Elena's knowing nods in the office, stolen hours with Jamie. Coffee at Tartine, where we'd split croissants and dissect bad rom-coms. Midnight walks along the Embarcadero, fairy horns moaning like lovesick whales. He opened slow, fractures showing. The party photo from a queer open mic he'd braved. Anonymous until some asshole ex-roommate screenshotted for clout. Woke up to 50 texts. Fag. Predator. The works. Dad flew in, preached for hours. Mom cried. I just left. His voice hollowed at the memory. But with me, he'd lean in, shoulder to shoulder, sharing earbuds for indie playlists that bled into sunrises. I confessed bits too. First crush on a teammate in high school, buried under denial. The fear of losing sponsorships if scouts sniffed it out. "You're out there killing it," he said one night, fog tendrils wrapping us on Baker Beach. "Makes me think maybe I could too." Our hands found each other then. Tentative lace under the sodium glow of a distant pier. Palms calloused from pencils and spikes, fitting like puzzle edges. But shadows crept. Elena pulled me aside post-meet, her whistle dangling like a noose. "He's smiling again, Alex. Thank you." Gratitude, but edged with caution. "Just be careful." His dad sniffing around, talking custody like Jamie's a minor again. I brushed it off, high on the relay win, but unease-seated. Jamie started flinching at notifications, phone buzzing with blocked numbers. "Haters," he'd mutter, but once over foe in the mission, he admitted, "Dad wants me home for deprogramming. Some camp in the Rockies. Thinks love's a glitch." Rage boiled in me. Fists clenched around chopsticks, but I played steady. "You're not going anywhere. We've got your back." He searched my face, hazel eyes softening, and pulled me into a alley kiss after, urgent and salt-tanged, the city's pulse thrumming approval. Fall quarter peaked in a frenzy of midterms and meets. The track oval a blur of churning legs and chalk dust under stadium lights that hummed like judgmental cicadas. Jamie and I carved out pockets. Study sessions in the library stacks that dissolved into whispered debates on Ginsberg poems. His knee pressing mine under the table. Post-paper runs along the panhandle, where we'd collapse laughing in the grass, fingers tracing constellations in the smog-veiled sky. Romance bloomed quiet, American dream fragile. Stolen fries at In-N-Out, mixtapes swapped via Bluetooth, the thrill of his text lighting my screen at 2 a.m. Can't sleep. Your voice? I'd call. Voice low through the thin walls. Spinning tales of epic fails from freshman orientation till his breath's even to sleep. But cracks spiderwebbed. One drizzly Tuesday, Elena cornered me in the weight room, barbells clanking like accusations. Jamie's pulling away, skipped dinner, lied about where. You two fighting. I lied smooth, just busy. But guilt gnawed, because yeah, we'd fought. Me pushing him to report the photo leaker to campus security. Him balking. Snitches get stitches, Alex. Let it die. It escalated in my dorm, rain lashing windows like accusations. You're ashamed? I accused, voice raw. Hiding like it'll vanish. He fired back. Easy for you, closeted king, untouchable. Try being the poster boy for disgrace. Door slam. Silence thicker than the fog rolling in off the bay. 2 days radio static. My run solo and savage. Pounding pavement till quads screamed mercy. Reconciliation came crooked. At a queer film fest in the Castro. Neon signs flickering like faulty halos. Streets alive with rainbow flags snapping in the wind. I spotted him in the crowd. Queued for a doc on Stonewall. Hoodie hood up like armor. Bought tickets, I said, holding out the stubs. Peace offering wrapped in glossy paper. He hesitated, then nodded, and inside the dim theater, as black and white footage flickered rebels rising. His hand found mine in the dark. Anchors in the storm. Post-screening, over tacos al pastor that burned going down, he cracked open. Dad called again. Says if I don't come home, he's cutting me off, no tuition, no nothing. Mom's begging me to play nice. Fear edged his words, but so did fire. Fuck that. I'm done running his script. We sealed it with a promise under the street lamp glow. Tell Elena together, stand united. But betrayal brewed unseen, a rogue wave. Next practice, as I warmed with dynamic stretches. Lunges that pulled at scars from old sprains. My phone vibrated insistent. Unknown number. A screenshot chain, Jamie's party pic recirculated, captioned track star's secret side piece, SF state scandal. Heart iced. Scoured the thread, anonymous account, but tags led to track team group chat. One name pinged. Tyler, sophomore hurdler, the loudmouth I'd shut down last month for a homophobic jab at a rival. Payback? I confronted him post-cool down, shoving him against the chain-link fence rattling like loose teeth. You leak that. He smirked, all gum and no spine. Finders keepers, man. Thought you'd appreciate the exposure. Fists itched, but Elena's whistle pierced. Alex. Office. Now. Her face was thunder as she scrolled the feed on her laptop. The gym emptying around us like rats from a sinking ship. This is poison. Jamie saw it. Bolted mid-class, won't answer. Blame lasered my way. You brought this here to my team. I reeled. It wasn't me, coach. Tyler. But she cut air with her hand, eyes hard as starting blocks. Doesn't matter. He's fragile, Alex. You knew that. Dismissed. I stormed the trails, fury fueling miles till lungs burned holy. At Jamie's off-campus crash pad, a sagging Victorian shared with art weirdos. I pounded the door till it creaked open. He looked wrecked, eyes puffy, sketchpad shredded on the floor like confetti from a funeral. Saw it, he rasped, collapsing onto the futon. Everyone knows now. Dad's already emailing the dean. Moral turpitude. Like I'm diseased. I dropped beside him, pulling him close despite the recoil. We'll fight it. Sue the bastard. Go public on our terms. But he shoved back, wild-eyed. Our? This was your idea. Tell Mom, own it. Now look, you're the hero, still lapped, and I'm the punchline. Words like hurdles I couldn't clear, each one tripping deeper. You think I wanted this? I shot, voice cracking. I'm out too now. Teams whispering, scouts ghosting. He laughed bitter. Poor you. At least you chose your closet. The chasm yawned, and he turned away, curling fetal. I left at dawn. City awakening gray and unforgiving. Betrayal's aftertaste metallic as blood from a bitten tongue. Days fractured into avoidance. Track a minefield of sidelong stares. Elena's coaching clipped and cold. Jamie's socials gone dark. I drowned in it. Extra lifts till shoulders screamed. Papers ghostwritten in caffeine fog. Nights scrolling grinder ghosts just to feel wanted. Then the gut punch. A voicemail from Elena. Voice hollow through static. Jamie's gone. Packed a bag. Left a note. Need space to breathe. Dad's flying in to handle it. Find him, Alex. Please. Panic surged, hot and hydraulic. I raced his haunts. Presidio benches empty, tartine stools cold. Twin Peaks trails mudslick and silent. Texts unanswered. Calls to voicemail purgatory. By midnight, desperation clawed. Dialed his emergency contact. A roommate who mumbled. Heard him on the phone with some guy. Sounded East Coast. Suitcase vibes. Man. Sorry. That. The pieces slotted vicious. Lured home under false flags. Deprogramming, cloaked as reconciliation. I tore to Elena's bungalow in No Valley. Victorian gingerbread dripping condensation. Her silhouette pacing the porch light's halo. It's a trap. I burst, rain sheeting off my jacket. She nodded grim, handing over a printed email. Jamie's dad. Bringing him to the family retreat. Time to heal. Flight leaves in hours. I can't stop it. Legal guardian bullshit. We drove to SFO in tense silence. Wipers slapping rhythm like metronomes to doom. Terminals a fluorescent blur of hurried lives. Too late. Boarding pass scanned. Gate sealed. But as the plane taxied, my phone lit. Jamie. Don't hate me. Love you. But this is my mess. Heart shredded. I typed frenzy. Come back. Fight with me. No reply. Elena gripped the wheel white-knuckled. Tears carving tracks. You were his light, Alex. Don't let it go dark. Winter quarter descended like a false start. Chilly rains lashing the campus. Turning the track to a skating rink of regrets. Holiday lights mocking from Haight Street windows as I ghost ran solo loops. Spikes chewing mud for solace. Elena benched me from meets. Focus on grades. But it was code for heal or break. Team dynamics soured. Tyler's smirks evolved to outright barbs in the locker room. Captain Rainbow leading us to glory? Whispers rippled. Scouts' emails drying up like bay mud at low tide. I doubled down on invisibility. Dorm burrowing, microwave ramen rituals. Journals filled with unsent letters to Jamie. Miss your laugh in the fog. Come home. No echoes. Elena's updates trickled sparse. Jamie holed up in his dad's Denver suburb. A cookie-cutter cul-de-sac with HOAs and hidden hypocrisies. He's quiet on calls. She'd report over weak coffee in her office. Steam curling like unspoken apologies. Says the camp's intensive. Group talks. Prayer hikes. But his voice. Flat. Alex. Like he's sprinting backward. Rage simmered chronic. I'd pace her porch some nights. City sprawl glittering indifferent below. Plotting rescues. Road trip the Rockies. Stage a midnight extraction like some queer Bonnie and Clyde. Can't, she'd sigh, handing me his latest sketch via mail. A fractured Golden Gate, cables snapping like veins. He's choosing to stay for now. Break came mid-December, a care package thudding my mailbox. Jamie's handwriting on the box, scrawled fragile. Inside, his pencil set, wrapped in a note, keep creating. Sorry I couldn't. And a USB drive unlabeled. Plugged it in, heart hammering, and his voice filled my earbuds. Raw audio diary, timestamps from the flight east. Day 1. Dad's handshake like iron. We'll fix this, son. Mom's texts beg me back. But guilt's heavier than fog. Entries escalated. Camp confessions. Circle jerks of testimonies. Ex-gay alums peddling straight-washed lies. Hikes where scripture drowned out starlight. They say it's choice, Alex. Like loving you was a bad lane pick. My name gasped like oxygen. Then the gut twist. Met a guy here, counselor Caleb. Says he gets it, that he relapsed but found peace. Talks late nights by the fire. Feels safe. Jealousy knifed, irrational and arctic. But I hit record, spilling back. It's not relapse. It's you. Real. Come fight for it. Sent the Drive Express, attached my reply audio. Rants on bad meats, dreams of nationals with him in the stands, a cover of his favorite Sufjan track croaked a cappella. Days stretched elastic, till New Year's Eve. Elena's frantic call. Voice-slicing party din from a Castro bash I'd skipped. He's coming back, ticket for tomorrow. Broke down on the phone. Can't fake it anymore. But Dad's tailing him. Talking lawsuit, slander, alienation. Airport reunion brood storm-swept. SFO's international arrivals a cattle call of jet-lagged reunions. Me clutching a cardboard sign scribbled finish strong. He emerged hollow-cheeked, duffel dragging, eyes scanning till they locked mine. Relief cracking the dam. We collided wordless. His frame folding into me. Sobs muffled in my track hoodie smelling of eucalyptus and effort. Elena waited curbside, engine idling, but we detoured first. To Baker Beach at twilight, waves gnashing pebbles like grudges unresolved. Caleb was a plant, Jamie confessed, sand gritting our jeans as we sat hip to hip. Dad's setup, temptation test. I played along till I couldn't. Told him off, packed mid-sermon. Pride swelled, tempered by the bruise of that name on the drive. Heard, I admitted, toes digging trenches. Thought maybe. He turned, fingers tracing my jawline fog damp. Never. It was you. Your voice, pulling me like gravity. Kiss then, fierce and reclaiming, salt of tears mingling with sea spray. The city's distant New Year's fireworks blooming premature like hesitant hope. But the prodigal return roused wolves. Dad materialized days later, suit starched as his convictions, storming Elena's bungalow with legal pads and a pastor in tow. Unfit environment. He thundered across the kitchen table strewn with takeout boxes. Jamie faced him square, voice steady as a gun lap. I'm gay, Dad, not broken. And this, gesturing us, hands linked, is home. Bluster met metal. The pastor droned scripture. But Elena fired back. Fierce mama bear. Your camps are torture chambers. Read the lawsuits. Standoff simmered, Dad retreating with threats of frozen funds. But Jamie's resolve held. A relay anchor refusing drop. Campus thawed wary. Track reinstated me with side eyes. But PR's silenced doubters. Sub 49,400. Whispers shifting to comeback kid. Jamie audited classes, sketching murals for the GSA lounge. Our nights a tangle of futon forts and future talks. Grad school dreams, road trips cross-country, a life stitched from salvaged threads. Romance deepened roots. Valentine's fog walk, where he proposed art for my spikes. Custom wraps of intertwined tracks, symbol infinite. You're my PR, he murmured, lips brushing collarbone. But undercurrent tugged. Tyler's leaks festered into admin probes, harassment claims, and Dad's emails escalated. CCING deans with doctored evidence of Jamie's instability. Climax crested mid-March, invitational weekend in Stanford's sun-baked stadium. Eucalyptus scent heavy as anticipation. I towed the blocks for the 4x4 relay, anchor leg, crowd a roar of red and white haze. Baton slap, go. Lungs pumped fire, strides devouring tan bark. But mid-turn, vision snagged. Jamie in the stands, face ashen, phone glued to ear. Post-race blur, team first, hugs metallic, till I vaulted barriers to him. Dad's here, he choked, thrusting the screen. Livestream link to a family intervention vid. Dad flanked by suits, narrating Jamie's descent, with our photos pilfered. Beach kiss. Handholds, twisted into grooming narrative. Betrayal double-barreled. Not just leak, but fabrication. Dad allying with Tyler via some twisted alumni network for moral support. Fury eclipsed fatigue. We bolted to Elena, her office a war room of laptops and lattes gone cold. He's suing for custody. Claims I'm enabling. Jamie seethed, pacing. Elena scrolled filings. Jaw set. Over my dead body. But the blow landed deeper. Jamie's eyes, fracturing anew. What if he's right? What if I drag you all down? I cupped his face, thumbs smudging salt. We're the team. No drops. Rally cry, but night fell heavy. Doubts gnawing like wet ropes fraying. Spring uncoiled tentative, cherry blossoms dusting the quad like hesitant confetti. But the suit's shadow lengthened. Subpoenas served at track practice. Elena's coaching hours slashed under conflict pretexts. Jamie's sleep fractured by nightmares of Colorado cabins. We lawyered up cheap. Campus legal aid a scrappy pit crew. Pro bono queer advocate named Riley. Tattoos mapping pride flags under her blazer sleeves. We've seen this playbook. She briefed over dim sum in Chinatown. Steam rising like battle fog. Ex-gay coercion, parental alienation. Courts are waking up. But it'll drag. Hearings loomed. A May trial date circled red on calendars. Tension coiling tighter than pre-race warm-ups. In the squeeze, love fortified. Jamie's art bloomed defiant. Posters wheat-pasted across no. Love wins laps. Stick figure runners hand in hand. My runs ritualized with his playlists. Beats sinking strides to survival. Intimacy deepened, chaste, profound. Nights mapping tattoos with fingertips. His fresh ink. Infinity loop on wrist. Mine a subtle rainbow arc behind ear. Whispers of vows unspoken. After this, he'd say, curled in my bunk as cable cars clanged lullabies. Road trip to Big Sur. Cliffs, crashing waves, just us. I'd trace his spine, vertebrae like hurdles cleared. Deal. And nationals, you'll scream loudest. Betrayal's second act struck low. Tyler, subpoenaed as witness. Flipped script in depot leaks to the student paper. Team insider claims coach cover-up. Lies layered. Elena, pushing agendas. Me distracting athletes. Backlash tsunami. Protests at gates. Rainbow pins clashing with admin suits. A petition drive hitting 500 SIGs overnight. Elena tendered resignation. Tear-streaked presser. Not leaving my boys or my son. Heartbreak public, but it galvanized. Alumni donors flooded her inbox. Track boosters rallied funds for Jamie's defense. I testified first, court chill seeping bones. Dad's glare across the oak expanse like Judgment Day. You manipulated him, he accused under oath, voice vinegar. I met it even. Love isn't manipulation. It's the only true lane. Jamie's turn gutted. Stand trembling, but voice steel as he unpacked the camp. Forced confessions, isolation tactics, Caleb's guidance revealed a staged seduction to prove temptation. Jury shifted, pens scratching sympathetic. Elena closed fierce. He's my heart, flawed, fierce, free. Take that, you lose us all. Verdict hung 2 days. City holding breath with us. Foghorns wailing like anxious fans. Then, gavel. Dismissed, full custody Elena. Restraining order on Dad's interventions. Slander suit greenlit against Tyler's enablers. Euphoria erupted bay-wide. Team hoist Elena on shoulders post-announcement jog. Jamie and I sealing it on Twin Peaks at dusk. City sprawl bowing below. Bridges strung gold. Ferries slicing diamond wakes. We did it, he breathed, forehead to mine. Winds whispering approval. But humanism tempered triumph. Dad's final email, forwarded CC. Lost my son today. Pray for us. No glee, just pity. A man sprinting wrong way lanes, blind to the turn. We replied joint. Doors open when you're ready to run together. Summer unfurled redemptive. Nationals in Austin. Me anchoring gold. Jamie's cheers echoing louder than the gun. Big Sur Drive, windows down. His head on my thigh as highways hugged cliffs. Ocean hymns to second chances. Elena remarried quiet. A park ceremony. Us as witnesses. Her new partner a soft-spoken librarian with a laugh like bells. Betrayals scarred but scabbed. Tyler's expulsion a footnote. Dad's silence a slow thaw via holiday cards. Years spool forward. Humanistic arc. Jamie's gallery show in the Mission. Abstracts of bent bridges mended. My coaching gig at SF State, Elena's shadow proud in the stands. We build a life mosaic, tiny house in Bernal Heights, garden stubborn with tomatoes, adoptions talked in hypotheticals. Love, dramatic once, settles romantic. Coffee mornings, his sketches on fridge, my medals dusty but dusted off for stories. No fairy tale gloss, but American grit, flawed runners, finishing strong, hands laced across the tape. In the end, it's not the start that defines, but the stride shared, the heart that doesn't quit.